Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Lush Gardeners. So I quickly wanted to talk about an issue that I have been seeing online of late, related with leaf propagation. I'll put up the image on the screen so you can get a fair idea of what I am trying to convey in this video. Now as you can see over here, I have some leaf propagations in the soil. This is the right method to propagate your succulent leaves or leaf propagation and to get a good success rate with them. This is the right process. I'm sure you might have seen a lot of my videos. I also have a playlist which I will put the link in the description below. You can check the entire process. But the issue over here is on the internet of late there has been few images that have been circulating, as you can see on the screen, wherein people mention that they tend to poke a needle through the leaves and they tend to make it like a garland and they hang it in the air, and then they mention that the leaves have started to put out pups and roots. Of course guys, leaves will get propagated, leaves will put out pups and roots irrespective whether you hang them or whether you put them in the soil or whether you just toss them behind the pot or in a corner. The leaves will definitely put out pups because that's how nature tends to work. But there is a major issue with this, that for how long will you be hanging them, because at some point of time you have to transfer them into the soil in order for them to grow. Now there was an issue that I had seen recently on one of the Facebook group. Now of course in Facebook group you have a lot of experts, just being a little sarcastic. So there are a lot of experts who are beginners, but they have already become experts within a month or within a week of keeping succulents. So I came across a lady who had posted the image of the same pattern wherein she had hung the leaves with the help of the string, and she had put up the picture. So I just asked her what is the purpose of doing so, like when you can just put them into the soil and you can grow them very easily because it's pretty simple. So she said that it's due to lack of space that she is doing this method of leaf propagation. So I was like, okay fine, lack of space I can completely understand, but then what are you going to do once the pups start to grow? Because of course once the pups start to grow you will have to put them into the soil. So she said, okay, then that's when I am going to give it off to my friends or neighbors. And that's exactly when I realized that I am basically talking to a wall and it doesn't make any sense. And I could somehow understand that she was making no sense, because of course if you are planning to give it to your friends or if you're planning to give it to your neighbors, it's an amazing idea. You can definitely do that by propagating it. But of course you cannot give it to your friends or neighbors when they are of this size. So that's what she said, that if there is no space, she's going to give it to her friends or neighbors. Because I know she just made it up that she's going to give it to her friends or family. If she is planning to do that, that's an amazing thing. But I don't think that was what she is planning to do, because she couldn't find any answer when I asked her that once they produce the pups, where will you make space if you're not having space right now? So that's when I realized there is no point with continuing the discussion with her, because she was not making any sense. Because when the pups are of this size, of course you cannot give it to anyone because they will not survive. Even if the pup has reached to this size, which will take a lot of time, even if they reach to this size, if the person is not very educated about succulents or does not have a lot of experience with succulents, these will also not survive. Transporting them is going to be a big hassle. They will not even survive the change in the environment and climate because they're still very young. And then giving it to a person who does not have any experience with succulents, it's going to be a total mess. So I kind of realized that the conversation was not going anywhere. So I just told her, oh, everyone has a very unique way of growing succulents, good luck to you, because I knew that it was not making any sense. And then you have these keyboard warriors who will always support the wrong things, and there were some people who said, oh well, that is a very good idea. I'm sure none of them have even tried it, because I'm going to show you this picture as you can see on the screen, and this was one of the comment. There is a person who has tried this method and happened to kill all of the leaf propagation. So it is not that simple. Here again I realize that we as humans, we want things to go according to us. We do not want to compromise, or we do not want to adjust. And succulents are plants that will not work according to your comfort. they prefer their comfort first. So if you are going to work with them according to your comfort, definitely they are not going to grow very healthy. They will have issues and eventually they will die. Another reason why it is not going to work out, as I said, putting them anywhere, they will start to pup, they will start to put out roots, but eventually you will have to transfer them to soil. The reason over here is, as you can see, these are hanged and you can see there are pups on it. It is going to work out really well. But in this case, because they are dangling in the air, they do not have any kind of source with the soil. The roots will absorb some moisture from the environment, but not a lot. Again, depending upon your environment and climate. And then the pup is going to be completely dependent on the mother leaf. And eventually the mother leaf will start to dry faster. Over here, as you can see, I had put in this mother leaf. I will put up the date because I don't remember when I had put these. Even before that, they were a couple of weeks old and then they were transferred into this soil. So I'm going to put up the date and you can assume that probably 2 or 3 weeks before that, they had started to put out the pups. Now over here, you can see the mother leaf is still very fresh, but this is not going to be the same case with the leaf propagations that are dangling in the air, because over there the pup is going to be completely dependent upon the mother leaf, and I'm not very sure how you are going to water them. Probably the only method is to mist them because they are in the air dangling, so you will be misting the pups. And remember, when you tend to mist the mother leaf has a higher chance of turning mushy and transparent. I have seen that happening earlier because I used to mist my leaf propagation earlier and they used to not survive. So that is another issue. Apart from that, let's say that you have surpassed all of this and now you are waiting. Now guys, from this stage, from this stage to reach to this stage, it is going to take you around 2 to 3 years. And I don't think you can let those leaf propagations dangle in the air for around 2 to 3 years, right? Doesn't make any sense. This leaf propagation, you can of course send it to your friends or neighbors because they are already of a good medium size. They won't have much of an issue if you are just probably giving them away in your locality or in your local area, but transporting them could be an issue. But if you're going to give a leaf propagation that is of this size, definitely it's not going to survive. Even if the person is very expert, even if the person has a very good hands-on experience with leaf propagations, they might not have much success, because when you tend to transport leaf propagations of this size, it's very difficult for them to acclimate. These can still acclimate, but these are not going to survive. So when the lady said that she's going to give them off to her neighbors or friends, I don't know when she's planning to do that, because if she's going to plan to give them at this stage, this must be around 2 or 3 months, and she had just started them. So I don't know. She basically didn't have much knowledge. I could completely understand because she didn't make any sense. But anyways, it's her succulent, so we can't do much about it. For such people, even if you give 100 reasons why it's not going to work out, they will give you 101 reasons why it will work out. Whether it makes sense or it doesn't, they just want to prove themselves that they are right. So they can live with that. I have no issues. I did my part of trying to explain to her, but she was not ready to listen. So it's up to her. So anyways, now over here, as you can see, these are the leaf propagations that have put out pups. They have roots. I will be watering them. Now guys, even in this process is going to take another 3 to 4 years for them to reach a medium size. Let's say 3 years, minimum 3 years for them to reach a decent size. Now, I cannot guarantee you that all of them will reach to a medium size. Probably some might not work out. Probably there might be 10 that might not make it even the first year itself. Despite taking all the precautions, probably 10 or 15 of them might not make it. If I want, I can say that all of these will get propagated and turn into mother plants. I can comfort myself by saying that I will do it, but it all depends upon the leaf propagation. Some might get overwatered, some might get underwatered, some might get pest infestation, some might get sunburn. Anything can go wrong in those 3 to 4 years, so we cannot expect that all of them are going to be successful. We can only comfort ourselves by saying that yes, it's going to be successful, but rest, it all depends upon the succulent and nature and the environment that we are growing in. So that was all about it. I just wanted you guys to understand that do not complicate things for yourself. I've seen these people are complicating things. Probably someone had just made this garland for fun as a reel or probably as a short video, and now people are starting to take it really seriously and starting to get into this, wherein they are not even understanding that this process is a very slow process, it's a very long process. For time being they will put out pups, but what's next? You will have to move them into the soil. Might as well put them into the soil from the first day itself. It's not going to be too much. If you think that you do not have space, then do not propagate leaves, because at the end of the day you will have to transfer them to soil in order for them to grow. So guys, that was all about it. I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button, and if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep propagating.